All right, welcome to the LWML Leadership Development Interview Series. My name is Marie McNary, and I'm a member of the LWML Leadership Development Committee. Today, I have the opportunity to sit down with Sherrie Smith and hear a little bit about her LWML experiences and what LWML means to her. Sherrie, thanks for joining us today.
You are welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you first got involved in LWML?
Sure. I have two daughters, and I have one son and one beautiful daughter-in-law, and I have a husband, and he's absolutely wonderful. He grocery shops and cooks for me. That is a real gift from God.
Very nice.
Let me tell you, I started LWML when I was a very little girl. I always remember going to LWML things with my mom from the very beginning of time. Just recently, my aunt died. She lives in rural, like about a week or two ago. She lives in rural Missouri. And in her obituary, it mentioned LWML. She's 91. So apparently LWML has been in my family forever, and I do thank God for that. And I'm thrilled to say that my daughter, Kirsten, was just elected to a vice president position on the district level. So,
wow, that's great.
Going, I know.
Great. Well, can you tell us a little bit more about maybe just a couple of the volunteer opportunities you've had the chance to experience in your LWML life?
Well, that's actually a very hard question because there's a lot more than a couple I would be happy to share with you.
Yeah.
But I need to go back to one of my very first years when I was a society president. We had a hayride for International Student Ministries students, and they all went out to the farm, and my family went, my husband went. Bruce was like, didn't want to go because he didn't know how to talk to anybody from another country. I said, Bruce, you'll be fine. You don't have to talk. Just cook the hot dogs.
Hey, that's important.
Really? So he's really good at cooking hot dogs. He said, okay, I can do that. So I left him by the fire cooking hot dogs, and I went somewhere. I don't know. It's doing something important, I'm sure. But I came back to Bruce, and he was surrounded by international students talking about barbecuing, talking about hot dogs and the charcoal, and he had them all eating out of the palm of his hands. So he was there serving the Lord. He didn't think he could do it. But in that position, in that time, God opened doors, so he was making friends. I was very proud of him.
Wow, that's great.
And that was a long time ago. I don't know. That would have been, I don't even know when, a very long time ago. One of my recent really joys, I'm only going to tell you about two things. One of my recent joys was being the chairman of the Committee of Young Women on the national level in Albuquerque, and we got to sing. I got to be a song leader for some times, and that has just warmed my heart. I made them sing rounds. And it was just the best. So I've had experiences on all the levels of LWML, and they're just all precious to me. I could talk to you about that for a very long time, but I just chose two.
Yeah, wow, that's great. And it's nice that you've had such different experiences, like not to be afraid to try new things and new types of roles.
That's one thing really wonderful about LWML. The doors are so open that we can serve in so many different ways. That's something I also cherish about LWML.
Yes, great. Well, now you serve on the Leadership Development Committee, same committee that I am on. Can you tell us a little bit more about the committee and what you do as your
role? I will tell you what I'm doing right now. I don't think it's a secret. We have a Dear Lucy Leader column, and it's my task to answer those Dear Lucy Leader questions.
You are Lucy Leader.
Yes, I am Lucy Leader. I wish I looked like that one that we have on our website. But
yes.
So anyhow, when I first was given that task, I thought to myself, who can we get that knows the answer to leadership questions? Who can we talk to? So I first thought of the national LWML leaders, the past ones, because they know so much and they would have such great answers.
Yeah.
But our little committee chairman Lois said, oh no, I think we can handle it ourselves. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I was really nervous. But then I discovered the LWML.org website. Oh my goodness, all the questions that all the people asked were answered right on that website. It's an amazing website, so many resources. I really recommend, if you haven't looked at it recently, to go look at it. It's really a great resource. Now my problem is that there's so many answers on the website, my letters are getting a little wordy, a little long. So now I have to work on keeping them shorter because the website has been the answer to the questions.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, and how do people, and when people want to hear the Lucy Leaders, they can get on an email list for that, right?
You can get an email list, or you can go right to the website. Yep.
You can see them. Perfect. Yeah, that's great. And you do a good job. That's kind of one of the neat things about LWML too, is that you might not feel that you're the best person for it, but you go where God calls you, and you get some great opportunities and great women to encourage you in the journeys that you're
Exactly. I
going
had
through.
much confidence in that. But the other thing I forgot to mention is there's a whole chain of editing that goes with it. So it's
Yeah.
not just my work. So if I really
Yes.
am off base somewhere, I will be led to I will be made to see the light, and we will come up with a really good
Get
answer.
the correct answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, no, that's great. You do a great job with those. And
Fun.
you also are a Lutheran school teacher.
I am, and we are in person. First of all, I want to tell you I work with 2-year-olds. So it's not,
Oh,
yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah, it's a little bit more challenging this year. They're supposed to be wearing masks. That in itself is a big challenge.
Yeah.
Some of them are okay with it. Some of them don't want to do it. We have to work toward that. But the hardest thing, the most different part is the parents cannot come into my classroom. So they have to drop off the children at the door. And I literally peel some of the children away from their parents. That's hard. And the kids are crying. The moms are trying hard not to cry. So that's a pretty difficult part about that. So what I'm trying to do about that is I send little pictures, because I love my little cell phone now. I take a little picture and text it to the parents so they know that their child is still not very upset. So I try to communicate that way. We can't have all our family things. I'm trying really hard to use all this technology we have to share videos and share pictures and Facebook, because that's the hardest thing, is not being able to build that relationship with the families when I can't really talk to them because they can't come into my classroom because we have to be safe. So that's my biggest challenge. But I tell you, if you know a teacher anywhere, please pray for them, encourage them. It's been a hard year for people, and there's you've been at 3 weeks and they're all burned out already. So, and I know there's all different kinds of scenarios throughout the U.S., but any teacher, I would say, would be very happy for you to be praying for her.
Definitely. We will keep you all in our prayers, and the students too, that they're having a good school year experience. And it sounds like you're doing a lot to kind of be creative and help keep it safe and happy for them.
Pray for the parents too. Some of them are struggling with sending their kids. It's a hard time to be a parent also. So just the children and their families and the teachers, and a lot of prayer we need, all of us.
It is. It is. Overall, how have you, just tell us a little bit about being a Lutheran teacher. Have you enjoyed that calling in your life?
Oh my goodness, I really have. I don't know how I could not be a Lutheran teacher. I love praying. I love watching the children when they hear the stories about Jesus loves the children. I love when they go home and they repeat those stories. But I have to be careful about that, because since they're so little, they don't always tell the whole story when they get home. So, because we have the no, go away part of Jesus and the children. So I always picture and give it to the parents in writing, because they probably won't remember. They'll let the children come to me part. So I have that connection with the families. It's just, I don't know how you could teach without doing that. I love when the parents say we have to pray before we eat, because the children learn that at school. And I think the little children are such great missionaries for their families. It's just a blessing to be able to work with them. I don't know what else I could be doing right now.
Yeah, it's great. We love our Lutheran school. We've adopted some missionaries because they've come and talked at the Lutheran school, and then the kiddos bring home the cards, and they're so excited about it. How can you not? Yeah,
I know, it's the children that get to the parents, and that just that's the way it goes. Right.
Definitely. So, do you have an LWML mentor that has been important to you in your life? And if you do, can you tell us a little bit about them?
I would say I've probably had more than one LWML mentor. I kind of feel like each stage in my leadership, I've had a different mentor. Right now, I'm working with the district young women, so I'm hoping that I'm mentoring some of them a little bit, but they're also mentoring me. So I got to tell you, the mentoring is going both ways in that. First of all, they've taught me a ton about technology. They've taught me about my smartphone. I see how important their faith is to them. And people like Marie, how you can balance children and work and LWML is really inspiration. So I would say I've had different mentors at different stages in my life. I treasure them all. And I'm praying that I'm a good mentor to the young women in my district right now.
Yeah, that's great. And that's a great point, that mentorship goes both ways. It seems like it's always a two-way street.
I definitely feel that way. I love my young women. I hope somebody's watching so they know.
They can, know that, yes. Watch.
I do love that.
So what about to someone who's maybe timid or doesn't consider herself a leader? What would you say to them and kind of encourage them as they're getting involved?
That's a very good question. Just as I was timid about being the Dear Lucy leader thing, I had encouragement from our Lois. She encouraged me what to do. I would say to look for what you are passionate about. There's so many opportunities in LWML. Find something you're passionate about. There's opportunities to do graphics and to do writing and editing and speaking. I would look for the opportunity. I would look for something that you are passionate about and begin serving in that position. And before you know it, God will grow you. And before you know it, God will be giving you more and more responsibilities. And pretty soon you're going to be a leader. So I would just say the bottom line is look for something you're passionate in and serve in that area. And then leadership just grows from there. So if you don't really think you're a leader, just find somewhere to serve. And then soon you will be leading.
That's great advice. Let's do one more question and kind of finish up with, do you have any certain Bible story or scripture that's kind of on your heart and mind right now?
Oh yes, I actually do. Jesus calms the storm.
Oh, that's a good one right now.
I don't know about you, but there's
Lots of ways.
Oh my goodness, there's storms. There's so many storms here in the United States right now. All people storms, like the wildfire storms, the virus storms, there's storms everywhere. In that story, Jesus is sleeping in the boat. He's there. We might not see him acting at that moment, but when we need him, Jesus wakes up and he says, "Peace, be still to the storm." And so he doesn't actually always still the storms in our lives, but he stills us. Because the storms we still got the virus going on. We still got the wildfires, but Jesus can calm my heart and give me peace, even in the midst of all that storm. I love to teach that one to the children. They get it. We do actions to go with it. There's another stop. They like
yes.
So the children get it, and they can go home and tell their parents. If out of the Bible stories right now, that's the one that really means the most to me. Jesus has power over the storm. Yeah. He has power over our lives, and he will see us through whatever storms we think we're in. May not calm them, at least not when we want him to. His timing is certainly not ours, but he will calm our hearts.
Yes. What great words of wisdom. And thank you so much, Sherrie, for joining us today. And we appreciate your time and telling us a little more about your LWML story and your journey.
You are welcome. It was great to see you.
Yes, you too. Thank you. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.